Now, you posted something else that was really disturbing on Threads, right? About Christian men. You said, speaking of Christian men always being concerned about vagina, right? When I was 17, my father had his associate pastor hold me down while he beat me with a rubber paddle.
Yep.
And he kept beating me till I would confess to having sex. I had just barely kissed a boy at 17. I couldn't sit or lay down on my backside for a week because my rear was so bruised. I also passed out in the middle of the cause of pain was because the pain was so intense. What you're talking about something right now that is so traumatic, but you're laughing about it. Can you share the emotions that you feel when you reflect back on that?
It's mixed emotions right now. I could probably cry if I wanted to. And that has been a journey to find forgiveness with my father for falsely accusing me and then beating me. What was your question though?
Because while I'm reciting what you wrote, you're laughing about it at the same time, right? Like, is it from a place of uncomfortableness, or what is something so serious?
Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe I still need to find a little bit of healing from it, because I'm finding my laughter is more so like a Band-Aid right now.
Gotcha.
Because really, truthfully, internally, I'm a little fucked up in the head. Because that was such a traumatic experience, to have your father sit, you just kissed a boy for the first time at 17, and he's accusing you of having sex, and then he has his associate pastor hold you down, Puerto Rican dude from the Lower East Side. I just want to note that. And it took it was like a rubber paddle this thick, that was this long, that they used to slap horses with to get them going. And my dad used all of his force, put his back into it, came down. And mind you, 17 years, I've always had a big ass, naturally. So in his mind, he thought, because her ass is bigger, she needs more heat. When he didn't realize that my ass is bigger, I actually have more nerves.
Right.
And more space to feel. So it was more painful. In the middle of that, he was like, confess that you had sex! Confess that you had sex! And I'm sitting there in pain, screaming in pain. And the associate pastor is watching, his face was like watching a horror movie. Because, my dad was a very forceful man. And then I passed out. And then I just remember waking up and then being hit on. And then he stopped eventually. And then I'm like, why am I going to confess to something that I didn't even do?
So you didn't cave. You didn't cave and just say, I did, just to get it to stop or anything.
Wow. That's not my spirit. That's not who I am.
Yeah, definitely. You don't strike me as that type. Did you ever have a conversation with him about that incident?
Oh, we still talk about it. I mean, I haven't spoken to him in a while. That's the whole thing. But yeah, we talked about it a lot after the fact, And even did
he ever admit that he was wrong?
Yeah. Just my father is still such a narcissistic individual that I don't know if he feels that,
That's interesting that you say that, because in our first interview, we had spoke a lot about your father, right? And kind of the ups and downs of because of religion, the choices that he made, and it seemed like at that time, you guys were in a decent place, or at least that's kind of what you relayed.
Yeah. And well, I wasn't speaking to him at the time. I'd like to speak well of my father still. There were a lot of good things that he did. And my father helped many families, has done good for so many people, gave a lot of money away to people, but at the same token, there was a lot of toxicity. And then compartmentalizing and talking about this whole situation, I still feel a certain way, I guess.
Right. And rightfully so. Right.